If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Welcome, family, to another episode of Something to Say. I'm your host, Stan B, and this particular episode is entitled Random Topics. Basically, I got my co-host, which is my homeboy. He's my co-host from time to time, not all the time, but this particular episode, he's my co-host. And so we're going to be going back and forth, discussing our perspectives on different various topics. So if you're ready to dive into it, rock with me. Come on, let's go. Welcome to another episode of Something to Say. I'm your host, Stan B. I got my co-host from time to time. He ain't not all the time, sometime. That's my co-host sometime.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody?
We're here. Yeah. And this one, I just, a lot of times I just come up with the title of what the episode gonna be. Just put something out there and try to stick to it. So this one is called Random Topics, right? Random topics.
Random.
So that goes on anywhere, but I just picked a couple of things and we're going to discuss them. We're going to give you our point of view, our perspective about some of these random topics. Now, starting off, man, who remembers a couple of years ago, it was a young boy who had this little dance craze going on. The kids was doing it. The older folks was doing it. And I think it was the whip, the nay, and I can't even think of. I can't get the melody right in my head right now.
No, not a dancer, bro.
But no. This song was one of them songs that's radio spins, like the joint I was telling you with Lil Nas X. It was like that. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those, one hit blow you up wonder songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but this kid, at the time, I think he was a kid. I think he's a little older now. I'm not sure exactly how old he is, but he's an adult, nonetheless. And he was just charged with murder, and it was the murder of his cousin. His cousin, I believe this dude that I'm talking about, his name is Salento. I think that's his name, Salento. That's what they call him on the rap, the music scene or what have you.
Right.
Salento. But I think he's like around 23, 24, and the cousin he's alleged to have killed is probably like 32, 33, somewhere around there. So,
right.
But what do you think about that? Like, one of the things that I read about it that pointed out was a thing where they was talking about mental illness, that he had a couple of run-ins with the law a few years prior. And some things that dealt with his mental illness. His publicist came out and gave a statement and mentioned something about his mental illness and, just keep him in prayer and keep him uplifted and send him positive vibes and, all that good stuff. So what do you think about that? Like, cause mental health is a big thing out here, man.
Mental health is a huge pandemic out here, I guess you should say, because but it's with dealing with mental health is crazy because, and I use that word crazy loosely.
Right.
Because we talk, what I'm talking about. But I'm just saying, they don't know how to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because to pump somebody in with drugs and make them think they one way, when the drugs run out, then it goes right back. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So it's crazy. But if he did it, whether he got a mental illness or not, there's a part of everybody that say you shouldn't be doing this. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. You know, and you know, some people will probably say, well, that, you know, particular illness or whatever it is that he or she has doesn't allow them to think along that wavelength. Like, okay, I'm gonna give you a prime example, right?
Mm-hmm.
We, for everybody listening right now, we in right now at the present moment, we in Newport News,
right,
downtown Newport News, and right up the street, think about 50th Street, about a year ago, situation I think might have been broad. It was in summertime. I think it was in summertime. It was broad daylight. The dude walked into this Jamaican store, Dunn's River, well-known Jamaican store. He walked in there. He was, you know, kind of saying some stuff to the dude, to the owner who also worked there, and so the owner kind of shooed him off a little bit, whatever. The guy went, sat down at a table. He was, you know, saying some other stuff, just kind of like teasing and patois, trying to be like saying like he Jamaican, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Talking like he Jamaican or whatever. And so he kind of taunting the dude. And so the lady that was standing there, the lady, she had a patient. I don't know. I believe the patient was with her. I'm not sure, but she had somebody that she was basically there inside there, right? She's in line, and she asked the guy, asked the owner, does he know? Do we know him? You know, and he's like, no, he don't. You know, he don't know him. You know, and so then she said, the next thing you know, that man stepped between her and her patient and shot that man right dead in his face and his forehead. You know what I'm saying? And then the guy that worked as the cook and do some other things around there, he came from the back. When he walked through the door from the back, he shot him and walked off. He didn't run. He walked up out of there. The lady said, you know, when she called 911, she said, hurry up and come here. He getting away. He walking away right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So in that case, looking at all of that right there, and this is just me, when I'm thinking about that situation, man, you have got to be freaking crazy out your mind to do something like that.
Right.
What makes you do that? You didn't rob nobody. You didn't take anybody's belongings. You didn't do anything that would have benefited you in any kind of way in that situation. It still would have benefited you in the end, but still, that in your mind, that would have benefited. You didn't do none of that. You just straight killed two people. Right. You know, almost like I did that because I know I could do it.
I could do it. Right, but you know, that in itself is crazy because he probably didn't have nothing to live for. He probably just did it because I don't know. See, you can't never really say what would make somebody do something that outrageous. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't really say. So people can speculate. They caught the dude. That was good. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened, but you know what I'm saying. You know those stories sort of fall by the wayside.
I think what we're talking about with this mental thing, I think they are applying that to his case.
Right.
Because I read something where the family is outraged about the fact that that the state or what have you is going to some what is it? He's pleading guilty by reason of insanity.
Right.
You know, and I don't know exactly what that all entails, but you may not be in prison like that. You may be locked up, but you're not gonna be in prison. But my whole thing, I don't you know, I don't know if I agree or disagree with any of that, but my whole thing is I could see how it could come to that, because my whole thing, like I just ran this whole thing down as to how that happened in broad daylight in front of the people that it happened in front of. You know, one person said he was under the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just seeing this, you imagine this is lunchtime, bro.
Right.
This is lunchtime.
Right.
People, you know, I'm going to go to Don's River, get something to eat for lunch. And you go in there and this happened.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what make it crazy. It's like, damn, that was so brazen, and then you didn't run.
Right.
You walked down the street. And they caught you walking somewhere, but you didn't have the weapon on you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you was walking down the street. You fit the description of that person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And come to find out that was you. Like, that's got to be something mentally going on with you to make you do something like that. You know?
Yeah, it's got to be something mental, or even
so I'm saying
something emotional. It could be a number of things. Just the fact that people, you just don't know, and that's the scary part of the situation. Because you just don't know, because you don't even know how to come out of a situation if you don't know why the situation even had to occur. You understand? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that can be for a number of reasons. Why did you feel this way?
Mm-hmm.
You ask him that 10 times, you're going to get 15 different answers. I'll put that on everything. I'll put that on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That, you know, I always say I wanted to be a psychologist just to pick people's minds, just to see, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily to be judgmental, nothing, to see why did you do that.
You ain't even gotta be a psychologist.
You know what I'm saying?
You can just look and just see.
I'm just saying, like, that's you know, when I see different things and you know, you hear about different cases, and you know what I'm saying, we're gonna get to a few of those here, but when you hear certain things, it's just like, damn, what are you thinking? What the hell? You know what I'm saying?
All right. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
So you know, so they say with this guy Salento that mental health may have played a part in what happened. We don't know. It's fresh. It just happened. You know what I mean? I think it happened like the 21st of January.
But think about, how many cases do you think are mental illness are actually real? And then how many people do you think cases are actually use that as a crutch?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really crazy, but I could play that to go, instead of going to jail, they send me to this hospital for about a year, or send me to this place for about 6 months or whatever, and then I'm right back at home. You know? You dig what I'm saying though? You dig what I'm saying though? So it's crazy that topic is so broad, because you got real cases and then you got people who use it as a crutch. Oh, I just tell them niggas I'm crazy.
Now let's shift to another case, right? Something I just seen not too long ago. This dude, I don't know, I should have wrote down the city and all of that, but he's on the West Coast, and he rapped, him and his brother, then some other cats or whatever, and he filmed himself on some social media platform, put it out there while he was in the house with these two dead bodies. One was his fiance, and one was a 15-year-old girl. They don't know who, you know, they haven't said what the relation of the girl is to her, the other lady.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they do know the lady is his fiance. You know what I mean? And I'm like.